said, I'm Jen Nelson, and I'm the Executive Director for the Maryland Association of Soil Conservation Districts, or MASCD. And so I am going to talk for a little bit about Maryland's Conservation Partnership. So I think that this training for some of our newer employees is a great opportunity to give kind of an overview of the landscape and a lot of the basic information that everybody needs. And so my presentation is talking about kind of how all of the partners fit together, the whole universe of the conservation partnership and what everybody's roles and responsibilities are there. So for effective conservation delivery, we need a few things in order to deliver that effectively to farmers and landowners. So you need staff. We need technical staff, managers, and administrative assistants. We need resources, including office space, vehicles, supplies, equipment, software, etc. And I know that we've spent a good time of the training today talking about that already. We need training, like today and other opportunities through AgLearn and on-the-job training. And then programs that provide the framework and guidance to provide that assistance and conservation delivery for farmers and landowners. And so within that, partners use agreements to share resources. And here's a few examples of what those look like. There's an MOU, or a Memorandum of Understanding. There's an MOA, or a Memorandum of Agreement. And there are contracts. And I don't think it's important for everybody to know the differences between these different kind of tools. But each of the documents outlines the responsibilities of each partner and the terms under which we'll provide those things that we need for conservation deliveries, the staff, resources, and training. So a lot of times if you hear Maryland's Conservation Partnership, we're talking about these three entities at the core of that. So you have MASCD and all of Maryland's conservation districts. You have MDA and NRCS as well. But there are a lot of partners and stakeholders that go into the work that we do, that we work with, and that have different roles and responsibilities here. So they're all listed here, but I'm going to go through them a little bit one by one. So first, starting at the state level, Maryland's Department of Agriculture, or MDA, is our state agency partner. So, and the main division within MDA that we work with is the Office of Resource Conservation. There's a link there. And so a few of the programs and sections within that that division include conservation grants. So out of there you have Maryland's Agricultural Cost Share, or MAX program, the cover crop program, and there's more. This isn't an exhaustive list. There's also program planning and development. There's watershed implementation planning, or WIP, that has to do with the Chesapeake restoration effort. There's the nutrient management program and district operations that deals with a lot of the resources and things that we've been talking about earlier today. So also within MDA is the State Soil Conservation Committee. Sometimes it's just called State Committee. They provide administrative oversight of the districts. So board supervisors are appointed through state committee, and they also have a monthly meeting that provides an opportunity, like a forum for people to discuss issues and share information that's really helpful. So at MDA, some of the employees that you'll see at the district level that are MDA employees include district managers. So that's the MDA or district lead at the county level. There's conservation planners, there's engineering technicians, there's sediment conservation technicians, and more. So other agency partners at the state level include Maryland DNR and MDE. And so here, each agency has kind of a brief overview of what the departments do in general, and then specifically how, where they touch on the districts and the partnership. So DNR is charged with maintaining Maryland's natural resources. So some of their programs that relate to us include Chesapeake and Coastal Service, their Forest Service, and land acquisition and planning. And so DNR administers the Chesapeake and Atlantic Coastal Bays Trust Fund, which is a significant source of funding for conservation district operations and conservation projects. So MDE, on the other hand, Their mission is they safeguard the environmental health of Maryland citizens. So their duties encompass enforcement and regulation, long-term planning and research, and technical assistance to industry and communities in their efforts to responsibly reduce pollution, waste disposal, and emergency spills of waste or oil. So where they relate to the districts, they issue permits for animal feeding operations, including CAFOs, concentrated animal feeding operations, and MAFOs, animal waste storage structures, non-tidal wetlands, pond construction, and other activities. So moving up to the federal level, we've got a lot of federal partners that are providing good training on this call today. So NRCS is our federal partner. NRCS provides technical leadership through state level staff. So your state agronomist, your state resource conservationist, your state engineer, your state soil scientist, all come out of the NRCS shop and provide a lot of really important guidance on all things technical throughout the state. Okay, so NRCS also provides conservation planning tools. So CART, the ranking tool, and Conservation Desktop. I know you're going to have a lot more training later on in the program on Farm Bill programs, but just a note here that NRCS provides financial assistance through these Farm Bill programs. So if you hear any of the acronym soup like EQIP, AMA, CRP or CREP, ASAP, RCPP, those are Farm Bill programs that are providing financial assistance for different conservation practices. Okay, and so NRCS federal employees at the district level can include district conservationists or DCs, soil conservationists, soil conservation technicians, and others as well. So a couple of the other federal partners, again, this isn't an exhaustive list, but you will work with the Farm Service Agency or FSA. So they implement agricultural policy, they administer credit and loan programs for farmers, they manage conservation, commodity, disaster, and farm marketing programs, and especially as it relates to everyone at the districts, CRP and the CREP programs. So the Environmental Protection Agency, or EPA, I've combined this here with the Chesapeake Bay Program Partnership because it's kind of housed under EPA, but they maintain and enforce national environmental standards. They coordinate voluntary pollution prevention programs and energy conservation efforts. And importantly, in Maryland, they coordinate the Chesapeake Bay restoration effort and the Chesapeake Bay Program Partnership. Okay. And then here's my wheelhouse. So Maryland's conservation districts. Maryland has 24 districts. We've got 23 counties plus an extra district for the Catoctin watershed in Frederick County. Conservation districts are a political subdivision of the state, and our powers and roles are established in Maryland law. So we're usually considered to be quasi-government. We're not nonprofit. We're not like the state or federal agencies. We're our own kind of entity. So each district is locally led by a board of supervisors, and sometimes the district employees can also include district managers, plus administrative staff, ag planners, ag technicians, engineers, and basically all of the positions that we had listed before for those technical positions that are very specific to each county. Okay, and then just a note, MASCD, that's my role. We are a nonprofit organization, and we provide coordination and support for Maryland's conservation districts. So we don't oversee the districts exactly, but we serve as the voice for Maryland's 21st soil and water conservation districts on state legislative issues. And similar to state committee, we provide a forum for training, policy making, and the exchange of information at annual and quarterly meetings. So you'll see us, we are providing coordination and support for the districts. And then just some additional partners. This is very district specific, but a lot of people work with University of Maryland Extension for technical service, providing advice, especially agronomy advice, and education and outreach opportunities. A lot of times we partner with UME on those and some of the other extension organizations. Districts work with their county governments, entering into agreements to provide funding and technical assistance related to stormwater practices. A lot of districts also have relationships with nonprofit organizations. So this is an example here with Shore Rivers on Delmarva. But they can take, those relationships can take a lot of different forms as well. And so private industry as well. A lot of districts have worked to establish public-private partnerships that provide additional technical capacity to get projects on the ground. And so that was a quick overview, but I'm available if you have any questions, and there's our website.